So, wow. Boy, did I make a mistake. Well, I didn't necessarily make the mistake. Frankly, I don't know what the mistake is or how it happened. I sat down to edit our Bayonetta playthrough and realized the audio was utter garbage. The audio on Bayonetta was garbage, the second part of our playthrough was garbage, and the third part of our playthrough was garbage. The fourth part, through the 8th or 9th, however long it took us, that was fine. From the fourth part on, we were recording on directly to my computer. See, for everything up until Bayonetta Part 4, which would probably be episode, I don't know, 15 or so, we were recording to Kurt's laptop and then transferring the files over to my PC, where I would then edit them. For most of our Crash Bandicoot stuff, that was all fine. Certainly the audio was completely fine. Sometimes the quality was a little don't know what to chalk that up to, but more or less it was fine. For whatever reason, from Wild Arms Part 19, which will be the first, the next episode will be the first part of that. So from Wild Arms episode, or Part 19, 20, and 21, 21 being our last part of the Wild Arms playthrough, to those first 3 Bayonetta sessions, the audio is complete garbage. I don't know what happened. I have no way to explain it. As far as I know, the settings were the same as they've always been. 48 kilohertz, the project rate, and it should be mono. I don't know what happened. I can't explain it. It sounded like we were choking underwater, which I guess you would call drowning. Yeah, it sounded like we were drowning, basically. I have no way how to explain it. This audio doesn't fall into that caveat. What happened with this one is at the end of the last episode, I noticed that the Elgato recording software had skipped. And so as a precaution, I stopped it, let it export, stopped the audio, let that export, and that saved it, because it did what I feared it would do, which is, it made the rest of the video, or rather, it made the few seconds of video that was there after the skip, corrupted and out of sync. So I just trimmed that off, and that was fine. We kept recording this is fine. I know I recorded the audio. Apparently I forgot to transfer over the audio. Gosh, it's weird. I pride myself on being thorough and very organized, but sometimes I can completely drop the ball. I don't know what the problem is with the audio on parts 19, 20, 21, or the first 3 parts of Bayonetta. I don't know what that was. That seems like some kind of system error. There's no way I could have changed the default settings so severely that it would do that. That just seems like something was corrupted somewhere. And so that needs to be completely re-recorded. Just the audio for this specific part being gone, that's completely my bad. This, and we did like a 1 hour Let's Look at the Lost World Jurassic Park video game with the PS1. That audio is also gone, so I don't know. I might record commentary for that just so we don't waste it. We'll see what I do. That's what I'm doing with this one right now. This one's only a half hour. We have to record 6 full sessions worth of commentary, which is probably at least, oh god, 9 hours, I think? Something like 9 hours with the commentary. Anyway, that's gonna be a trial, but we will do it. Because the audio is so... I can't convey to you in words just how bad the audio is. I told you it sounds like we're drowning. It's in stereo, so we're each being picked up on separate channels. So there's just a mild delay between us. So there's this constant echo in our voices. I am usually drowned out. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I sound like a robot. Sometimes I sound like I'm 1,000 miles away. Kurt sounds okay. If it was just Kurt, it might be embarrassing but salvageable. If it was just Kurt talking to himself, that'd be okay. But it's beyond any form of redemption, and our only recourse is to sit down and record all that audio again, which is fine. We finished the Bayonetta playthrough while ARMS is still going up. We are ahead of schedule. We have enough in the bank that we can spare the next 2 weeks of recording to instead record the commentaries that we need for these episodes. Bayonetta is, in particular, I'm not going to say special so much, but important. It is important that our Bayonetta audio be quality and be there. And from part 4, like I said, it would probably be episode 15 or so, to the very end, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's just those first 3 parts are completely unsalvageable. So with that, I should probably talk about what's going on right here. Earlier, we restored Rudy's arm, and right now we are going through one of the more frustrating dungeons. The puzzles in here trip this up a bit. It's a lot like the Triple R, where the 3 characters get split up and you need to go up this tower one by one. There's a series of switches you need to flip, and those switches affect every color door within the dungeon. So the gems you'll see, as you've probably been seeing, we click on the gem, and it switches from red to blue, or vice versa. And when we do that, what does it do? It closes a door. It closes all doors of the opposite color, if I remember correctly. So we need to send the characters through one at a time, flip the gems to a particular color, and then send the other characters through to flip the gems of other colors. So each character can only progress so far before another character needs to progress and change some stuff. What we didn't realize at first was that these gems are on a dungeon-wide system. We thought maybe they were just route by route. So the gems that Rudy encounters would just affect his path, and the gems that Cecilia encounters would just affect her path. We were wrong about that. So eventually we figured out that, oh, these gems need to be flipped wherever they happen to be, just so a character can progress. There's one part in particular which is tripping us up, where Cecilia walks into a little cell, flips the gem, and then is stuck within that cell. In order to get her out of that cell, you need to send... I think we end up sending Jack toward a gem to flip it. And then that lets her out of the cell, and then he can flip it again, and that lets her progress through a door. Because you're constantly alternating these gems, and so even though it seems like it would completely reset things, but it doesn't. See, there's a red gem on the left right there that we just passed, and we're going to make our way towards soon. This is one of the more frustrating dungeons. It's not even a difficult puzzle. Like, it doesn't take long to figure out. It's just... the random battles make it very annoying. Even as cheating as we have been, as overpowered as we are, this part in particular where we get to, you need to get all 3 characters there at once. They can turn on the lights and then they regroup. Yay. But just going through this with one character at a time, getting into all these random battles, God, it's so frustrating. These puzzles are really a drag. See right there, you flip the blue and it shuts the blue door. And it shuts all blue doors. And... aha. So we figured this out. So then we flip that gem, now she can leave. Then we switch back to Jack. He flips the gem. Then we switch back to Cecilia. Yeah, here we go. Now Cecilia goes through, and boom, she can finally progress. That tripped us up for, oh god, almost 10 minutes. She steps in that switch, and now Rudy can progress. But she needs to keep going. After she gets into another random battle with, what's this, a Hydra? No, it's these little, these guys I kept comparing to an enemy in Final Fantasy VII. In the Northern Crater on Disc 3, you go down there, and there's this enemy, which there is actually bipedal. I think it's white and red? Something like that. It has these big scissor hands and scissor feet. It has a very frustrating auto-kill attack. Other than that, it's not terribly dangerous. But once in a while, you can run into a composition of enemies down there, which just absolutely wrecks you. It's pretty frustrating, but nothing you can't get through once you're on Disc 3. Anyway, back to Wild Arms. See, that's the end of the line for Cecilia, so now we need to take Jack and Rudy to the end of the line, too. Rudy is most of the way there, and so is Jack. Jack just needs to flip that gem, go back upstairs, and I think he's there, actually. Yeah, I think he just, if I remember correctly, he just goes up here. Yeah, he's there, so now we just need to take Rudy to the end. Since the other two characters have made it to the end of their respective lines, Rudy should be able to go straight there. Oh no! Are we backtracking? I think we're backtracking. No? No, because we're going up. Okay, that makes sense. And then, this actually right here is where the characters need to go. Oh, no, we need to go flip the switch one more time for Rudy. See, we actually encounter the boss, the Demon Prophet. He is our captor and seer. No one escapes his vision. He punishes those who try to escape, and he rewards those who are obedient. I don't know how that works exactly. Obviously, he's a boss. You're supposed to fight him 3-on-1. But we were cheating, and so we decided, hey, I bet we can handle this. It's just a boss with some cool sneakers. God, that's a terrible enemy design, the Demon Prophet. And then his shtick is he's basically he's torturing you, and so it says blank will be blanked. In that case, he hits you with rocks, and he also has ice, wind, and fire attacks, the usual motley of abilities. It's a rough ride, this boss fight. We weren't supposed to come here. We were not supposed to do this. We were actually worried that we would lose this fight, because if we lose this fight, we would need to redo not much, actually. I suppose it would only cost us 3 to 5 minutes, but you never want to do any more progression than you have to, right? Or rather, you never want to redo progression, just because you had too much confidence in your ability to cheat, and so you threw yourself at the boss of the dungeon with one character. So you can see he's just alternating between these attacks. And if we had all 3 characters here, this would be painful, but not so bad. Because obviously one character would be on heal duty, while the other characters are just attacking him. I mean, his attacks do a lot of damage. I think they're doing more damage than anyone else so far. But again, if they were split between 3 characters, it would be very manageable. In fact, even if he was just attacking one character time after time after time, it would still be more manageable. Because again, one character could heal them, and then the other characters could just lay on the damage. Whereas here, we need to alternate healing with attacking, hoping that no 2 of his attacks deal more than 50% of our health. So that was fine. That did, what, 40? 45%? It's a lot. It is a lot of damage to suffer, but it's not unmanageable. But of course, there's variance, and there's the RNG, and so sometimes those attacks do hit for more than 50% of our health. And those are the scary ones, because if we got hit by those back-to-back, we would be dead. See, like right there, we have 225 health. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's bad. And we can't afford to take a turn. We can't heal every turn, obviously, because it's just Manza here. He needs to get a damage, or else we can't win. So we're forced to see that was even closer, I think, than last time. I think last time he had 1,600 some, now he only has 1,540. He only has 3,020 health, so he's... Ooh, that turn we had to actually reload our arm. That's the only time we can take a turn away from... Ooh! All the way down to 70 health. Jesus! Oh man, did we do this? I don't remember if we pulled this off. I remember biting my nails. But we can't afford to take a turn to not attack, unless it's to reload an arm or to heal. We can't just heal up after every turn. So it has to go attack, heal, and we just have to hope that the variance is in our favor. So if it's even slightly... Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it. Thank God we did it. I honestly forgot if we managed it or not. Oh, what a dumb death animation. Ah. Yeah, that was rough. I remember biting my nails for the entirety of that. And then we think, oh, maybe we can sequence break, because we're just too powerful. Maybe we can just take Rudy on the rest of this adventure. So we heal him up with some Mega Berry, even though we have over 200 Ambrosias left. And then we get to here, where even if you weren't cheating, it would still be possible to just level up your characters way, way, way further than you need to for where you're at. I mean, in theory, you could just level them up to level 99 on that very first field if you wanted to take hundreds of hours to walk around there doing it. And then you would get here and you would just stomp your way through all of this, boss included. So they needed something to make sure people didn't find themselves wandering the world all alone. So they put in those 2 switches, which is one of the few puzzles they ever gave Jack. Where he stands on one, you throw a hand pan at the other, boom, you're done. So that meant that we had to complete the puzzle as is. Where we take him down here, and then we bring Jack back up. Oh. I think we're dumb. I think we're dumb, and we forgot to flip that switch, and now we're going to run into a blue door here. Let's see, are we dumb? Oh, no, we're not dumb. Cool. There, boom. Now everyone's reunited. They didn't feel obligated to say anything to one another. Why did we keep going? Why didn't we just leave? I think there might be a quick draw for Jack in here, but on someone else's path. But at the same time, I feel like we maybe didn't find anything. I think we may have just given up. Maybe I should have edited... Oh, nope, there it was. There was a secret path right there that we blew open. And oh yeah, there are these chests, which probably don't have anything we need. Nope, crest graph, and crest graph? Oh, ambrosia. See, if you were playing the game legitimately, that'd be a very exciting find. Because those 2 crest graphs would mean at least 1 more advanced level spell. Plus that, well, ambrosia's an elixir. Those are always nice. There must have been something else in here, though. And I think we gave up at this point. And just turned around. Once we saw that red door, I'm pretty sure we just turned around. After we fight these little imp guys. Gosh, always with the imps. Always with the limited number of enemy types in this game. Tisk tisk. I can't blame them, though. Like I said, this was their first RPG. This is 97, the PS1. I was about to say PS2 for some reason. The PS1 had been out for a year and a half? 2 years? Not long. No one had much experience developing, polygonal models for consoles. Yeah, we're stuck, and so I think we just decided to turn around. I get it. You need to stretch your budget. And so you make a handful of enemy models, and you rename them, you recolor them, you give them progressively higher stats, and you see them throughout the game. It saves you some time, it saves you, I bet, plenty of money. It allows you to make a rather nifty and enjoyable, and really quite memorable RPG. And there's something charming about it, too. Seeing how this team just stretched their budget. And picturing them going through the tribulations of developing this title. And probably having higher ambitions and wanting to have unique enemies for each and every area, but realizing that, oh, we can't manage that. And oh, this is where we took Handpan earlier. We just didn't realize that, because running around with Handpan was a little different, and so the layout wasn't fresh in our minds. See, there's the little Handpan's hole. And, oh my god! Oh my god! We have to go all the way back, and we're not casting invisible. What is this amateur hour shit? Oh man. See, the dungeons are probably the biggest failing of this game. They're just not that great. They often have these very frustrating switch and box puzzles that you need to manage. That you need to go through over and over again, and that's a failing of many games, not just this one. Often the weakest part is... Kitty, lay down already. Often the weakest part of the Zelda games is their box and switch puzzles. So I can't give this game crap specifically for it, but at the same time, it is the greatest failing of it. And they give you all these tools in order to navigate these puzzles as well, and they feel mostly superfluous. Jack's lighter, for instance, you use a handful of times, and it's basically forgotten. Same thing with Rudy's punch glove, and Rudy's skates get the least use. They have utility, at the very least. You can use them to navigate a little bit faster, but in terms of needing to use them to get through the game, like straight up progression blockers, they have the least use completely. Oh man. I think we finally got out of here, and we were pretty happy about that. I think we considered calling it a night, but we kept going for a little bit longer. Oh yeah, that's right. We came up here, and then Alhazroj was like, go in the dungeon, and then we were just in the dungeon. So now we need to go back in here and see what's what. Dun, dun, dun. Now we have to fight a couple of, I guess, pukas? And that guy who listens to goes to Hot Topic and listens to too much, I was gonna say lobster music because he's all red, but that doesn't even make sense. What would lobster music even be? Stardust? Weird. Oh no, 422 damage. Enemies were getting stronger by this point, to the point where we weren't killing them in one hit, but we weren't, we still weren't exactly noticing. Or if we were noticing, we weren't caring. That happens a lot, and I don't know why. We ran back there because we forgot which way we were going. I think it's because this game relies on repetitive tile sets that when you get yanked out of it so suddenly and so... Whoa! That's a hell of an enemy. Belzebub. Hi, Bob. I think it's because when you get yanked out of a repetitive environment like that so quickly, it's easy to forget which direction you're actually going. Because you start on the far left of a hallway, you just kind of charge right. You don't actually make a note of, oh, I was going right. Maybe if it was a little more distinctive, you might notice or remember which way you were going in the first place. Sometimes it's not a problem. Like when we're going up. Shazam! Isn't that Shaq's movie? Just a little while, the black tear will rain down on the land. The end draws near for this planet. Oh, Shazam, you're an asshole. And I think he has 3 heads. Yep, 3 heads. And I don't think he puts up much of a fight. For instance, I hate to keep bringing up this example, but when we were playing Final Fantasy VII, the backgrounds are all pre-rendered. So, getting yanked out of the environment into an enemy fight never really disorients you, because it's rare that you're just going purely left to right. And even if you are going left to right, the camera is always situated in a very unique way, very much the same as it is in Resident Evil. So that you have, even if you don't make a mental note of which direction you're facing, which why would you? You're just going whatever direction you're going. Once you get back into that overworld map, you have an instinctive knowledge of which direction you're facing. So I can't remember any time playing Final Fantasy VII or any game in that kind of pre-rendered vein where I got suddenly yanked out of the environment, and when returned to it, found myself disoriented. Come on, kitty, just lay down. Migrado's being kind of an attention whore right now, as is his wont. That's all he does. He wants attention. Because he's big and fluffy, and he wants scratchings. Oh, and if only we had an audience. I'd slap him on a t-shirt and make him money. Does he help us with that? No, he doesn't. It's just... I was hoping that would dispel the, paralysis? There are a number of weird, not enemy types, debuff types in this game. And there's paralysis, there's something else that we never quite tell the difference between. If it was something like Isuna, it would have removed it, but no, it was just Dispel. So if we had Protect on, then we would have been boned. Another problem with this game, and I hate to talk about all the air quotes problems this game has, because it's quite a nifty game. It's very fun and it's very memorable. It's very unique. It's a great game, and if you haven't played it, you really should. But there's not a lot of... Despite all the tools they give you, there aren't a lot of tactics from fight to fight. You get into a boss fight, and you dump Rudy's strongest arms onto them. You spend all Jack's mana using his strongest quick draw, and then Cecilia either does the same with her spells, or you put her purely on heal duty. The only time you deviate from that is to have someone heal Cecilia, like that, with a heat salve to take care of her paralysis. And a lot of RPGs have that problem, where basically you just beef up your characters and then wail away on the bosses and all the other enemies with physical attacks in the meanwhile. Uh-oh. Do you want to jump in? You should always jump in, kids. Always, always jump in. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if the teardrop is vibrating or not. There's the dark teardrop, which is more of an aquamarine than a sky blue. So you know it's evil. Aquamarine is the most evil shade of blue. And here I was doing a terrible choo-choo voice, I'm sure. And terrible Al-Hazard voice, which I can't even remember now. Just sit there and watch as the black light of the darkness tier rain rips. That was weird. That was worded weird. I think even the first time around I had trouble with it. No, how is this possible? Easy, my human friends. The darkness tier can generate anti-life energy by reversing the effects of the teardrop. You know how the energy is delivered to different regions, don't you? No, the pyramids. They're gonna use the evil pyramids against us. Oh no! Yes, the machine the built has now become a doomsday device for Volgaea. Oh, how nefarious. It's never clear what exactly they hope to gain by destroying all life on this planet. I mean, they want the planet itself, but if there's no life on it, I don't understand what the purpose is. Granted, the demons are metallic beings, so maybe they want to bring forth a new metallic life? It's not clear. It's not all that clear what they're actually doing, other than trying to end all life on the planet. But then, in their defense, most bad guys have very poorly thought out plans too, so they're in good company. No shortage of evil scientists who just want to destroy all life, or turn everyone into disgusting insects, or I don't know. If you're an evil scientist, tell me what your plan is, just so I can get ready for it. Oh, you know that's evil because it's purple. Well, it's an evil shade of purple anyway. The most evil shade of purple. And it's raining down on the planet, which is like this is like the third apocalypse this planet has had in this playthrough so far. And this one's pretty bad. Or at least it seems pretty bad. And now it's talking like this all happened days or weeks or even years ago. Even though it's happening right now. I mean, fuck, look at that! That's Kefka stuff. This kind of shit Kefka pulled off. Except, disappointingly, after all this, the world hasn't changed in any way. It's still just, same old world. Nothing new to explore. No altered environments. And no mention from anyone of this miniature apocalypse they all suffered. I mean, we saw the earth rent. We saw winds ripping across the plains, and now this giant tidal wave, which is presumably hitting every coast at once, but no mention of it anywhere. So it's not clear if any of that actually happened, or if it was all just a vision. Because Shushu here is going to throw himself against this darkness tier again, and again, and again, until finally it shatters. And then Lady Harkin's there. She was apparently inside of it. I don't know how she was a battery for it. It's unclear. A lot of the story is unclear. Get away, don't come near me. I'm Lady Harkin, the demon warrior. You sure are. Oh, now she is. I couldn't protect her! Again, my power alone cannot save her. Man, he is distraught. Knees on the ground, hands in the air and everything. And he's hurt because he kept throwing himself at that demonic device over and over and over again. The darkness here didn't do too much damage after all, so maybe that's why they didn't mention it. Because it messed up one hillside and wiped out one tiny little village no one cares about. But you haven't accomplished anything. Oh no, they did accomplish something. I was wrong. The evil tower of Dingle, which is always fun to say, no matter how old you get. And is probably a reference to something. Or a reference to nothing at all. Either or. Either or. Be thrilled by the new moon, and finally Fulgea will... Come on. What will it do? Ah. It won't do shit. And we get a little flashback where, oh, Coldbird. I don't know if that's a cool or dumb name. Where Jack remembers his lost love. Although I don't think he ever forgot her. He just didn't talk about her. Because frankly, no one asked. And there's an arm, which we will get much later. It's just out of place right now. Chief Knight, I asked Garrett to come. It's my fault. And at the time, Jack sucked at everything he did, it seems. I mean, he's the only one of the three characters to get his own little intro sequence before the game actually starts, and all it does is show him failing. Failing to protect her, failing to protect their king, their kingdom. Just him failing over and over and over. Oh, poor Jack. You failure. That's why he was so distraught that he couldn't protect her. They're called the Fenrir Knights, which is obvious reference to Fenrir, or Fenris, the Great Wolf. But there's really no other reference to, There's really no other reference to Norse mythology in this game that I'm aware of. Of course, they also reference the Bible, the USS Missouri, and they say Space Cadet, so not a lot of thematic consistency within this game, I should say. They just kind of say things, and they are just kind of named things. It's not great. It's not too great. And right now they're telling some stuff that we pretty much figured out, and that this doesn't really add anything to. Just him talking about how he'll guard everything. That's why he's a Bursitis. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. Now he wakes up in bed, and he's surprised that they didn't abandon him. And they dragged him all the way back to Adelheid. I had no right to badger you on your secrecy, Princess. I sacrificed everything to be a Van Buris. I couldn't tell you the truth about who I am, for some reason. Choo-Choo is a Van Buris. You're an important member to this team now. He's been an important member all along. Whatever. Remember, huh? Thanks, everyone. Manzig, Princess, could you guys do me a favor? We have to go to Arctica. I want to start a band. I have to get her to take care of some unfinished business. I cannot let her stain her hands any further. She's knee-deep in blood and sin. That's pretty deep. I wish she was 3 inches deep. I have to help and protect her. I'm going to use your powers for protection. Yay! Remember, kids, always use your powers for protection. Yay! And not for personal gain. Boo! I've forgotten the true nature of my sword. You stab things with it. You don't use it to cut pizza and slather butter on your bread. You don't use it to stir peanut butter. Or roast kebabs. Yeah. That was it. For the next episodes, I'm going to have Kurt here. I just wanted to record this one ahead of time. Because it's only 35 minutes, and I just wanted to knock it out. So anyway, see ya!